Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Nation Youth Podcast. Let's talk about Japa Syndrome today. What actually is Japa Syndrome? Africans in another countries that lives in Europe, that lives in the European Union. So what does Japa means? Japa in Nigerian term means ability for you to be able to leave your home country and move to another country. Living there, that's basically what we call Japa syndrome. So we actually assume it as a syndrome because we see it as when everybody's Japaing. So so one of the things I want us to talk about, why do you really want to talk about this Japa syndrome, is that it's something that is really going viral in Nigeria, especially to the youths in Nigeria. And why are we talking about this today is because I just want us to analyze some things regarding this Japa. What are the pros and cons of Japa and the trend regarding this? So let's get it started. So if you listen to one of my previous podcasts, so why are Nigerians Japaing? Why Nigerians are, leaving Nigeria at this alarming rate? Yeah, so as we all know that the Japa is a slang for immigration. And so one of the reasons why Nigerians actually emigrate Nigeria, and especially Nigerian youth, is just because of, the basic standard of living that is expected for every citizen in the world is just missing in the country. So the first thing is unemployment. Unemployment rate in Nigeria is so high in such a way that an average Nigerian doesn't see a good job. It's either you are underemployed, or you are totally unemployed. And this rate is so high. I think the rate is, at least the unemployment rate is about 33% as at the year 2022. While as we speak in Germany, as at 2022, the unemployment rate is just about 3%. Yeah, comparing that to the population of Nigeria, so it's quite enormous. So this is one of the major reasons why Nigerians emigrate to another countries in the world. Another thing is insecurity. When any country that does not have insecurity, is not secure, you don't expect a good standard of living to be there. Because whatever you save your life savings on, just find out it's vanished one day due to insecurity. So that's another major reason why Nigerians and other Africans leave their African country, our African continent, and move to the Europe or the United States. Another major point is educational reasons. For educational reasons, of course, you want to have the best education. You want to educate yourself. You want to be better, in terms of your technological know-how, in terms of your advancement, and that's one of the major reasons why also Nigerians emigrate. And another point is unfriendly economics reality. So what do I mean by that? So imagine if you worked for 5 years in a particular country and you think you save money for you to be able to survive for a couple of months or for a couple of years, and find out that maybe after a few years, just find out that all your life savings or what you have worked for this number of years is nothing to talk about. It's nothing to even buy about due to the high rate of inflation or the value of your money. So these are some of the reasons why majority of Nigerians emigrate to another country. Just think about it. I kept wondering myself why some Nigerians are actually talking about why this is a disadvantage. Yeah, of course, for every advantage, there could be some element of disadvantage. Yeah, I'm not going to dispute that, but the point is, not because I'm also abroad, but the point is there are a lot of advantage for the home country. One of the point is there is an high rate of export of GDP into the country, because every Nigerian that move abroad will eventually send money back home or do some sort of investment. We're going to talk about investment in this particular episode later. So one of the major reasons why we need to look at the positive side is this particular point. I was just wondering why some people are saying that it has more disadvantage to Nigeria than disadvantage. One thing I know is the most important thing for every good country is the citizen interest. Every country must have this interest of their citizen in mind. Nigeria need to do better in terms of ensuring that they put their citizens first. I am assuring each and everybody that if Nigerian government put their citizens first, this issue of Japa or immigration slang for Nigerians would not have come into pass as it is currently going. So I think a former chairman of First Bank of Nigeria was talking about this issue of Japa recently. A former chairman of First Bank of Nigeria, Mrs. Ibukun Awushika, described the rate at which young Nigerians are relocating to developed countries, especially in North America and Europe, as a total export of Nigerian resources that will bear no return on capital investment. Why was she saying this? After we have used our money to pay the countries for the education of our children, we then leave our children behind to serve them to build their own country economy, even though we paid for that education. With due respect, ma, but the point we are saying here is that what is the point of staying in a country that does not value their citizens? Give a standard living to their citizens. If I pay for my education and come to abroad, I'm able to get the value of my education here, first of all, and I'm also able to get a good, well-paid job. Why won't I stay? If I stay in Nigeria and I was able to, my parents are able to raise this money for me, and I go to the university, and at the end of the day, I'm out of the university, I couldn't get a job. How will I survive? So these are the things that the Nigerian government need to factor into this. Not talking about how you want to manipulate our mind. Any Nigerian that want to move can move. I strongly advise anybody that has the ability to move abroad. You should move for your own sanity. Yeah, that's all for the Japa Syndrome. Another thing I will be talking about is business investment. So in Nigeria, actually. So yeah, so keep your hands full. I'll be right back. We create some kind of a questionnaire, and we have some of the dear listeners, whether you would like to actually whether you want to listen to investment opportunities in Nigeria. Yes, hear your opinion. So I want to tell you that in this particular podcast, I will be talking about different types of investment you can do in Nigeria and how you can do them also. So yeah, so as a Nigerian in diaspora or as an African in diaspora, if you really have interest in doing that, it should be an avenue for you to invest. So first of all, one good thing, real estate is very, very common way of investing in Nigeria. It's really booming in Nigeria as we speak. The young real estate CEOs in Nigeria, they actually mentioned about 7. Number 1 is Noah Ibrahim, Novaric Homes and Properties Limited. Nola Atedola Veritasi Homes Limited, Kende Muibi MKH Investments, Olawale Ayilara Landway Investment, Dr. Tony Aspire Kolawole, Sijibomi Okundele, Richard Nyong. These are the young real estate CEOs in Nigeria. So if you really have passion for real estate in Nigeria, you should Google about these people and see how you can get in touch with them and see one way or the other that you can invest with them. But trust me, I am not advertising for anybody in this podcast. Please, you have to do your due diligence before you invest in Nigeria. So another point is that currently trending in Nigeria is tech entrepreneurs. Yeah, so about the tech entrepreneurs. So tech entrepreneurs in Nigeria. So I think it's something worth of for you to also check about it. I'm not going to actually refer you to a particular tech entrepreneur, but I will just advise you do your due diligence properly before you invest in any tech entrepreneurship in Nigeria. So yeah, look at it and be sure of what you want to invest in. And it depends on your interest. If you have a passion for instance, financial services, you should look for financial tech entrepreneurs. Or if you want to think about agricultural or hospitalization, or depends on what you have passion for. Just Google about it. There are a bunch of them out there that you can that you can actually get some investment with.